Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for sticking around through the break. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow, joined today by Steven Returned Johnson. Where is he returned from? Nobody knows. That's the fun. We are going to get into game number 2 between Ryerson and Sam Houston State in just a few short moments here. Sam Houston got their work cut out for him.
Yeah, they started the game off without pressure. They continued the game without pressure, and they lost without pressure. So, key number 1 has to be find somewhere to generate this pressure from. Pressure is your ability to make these plays, and the entirety of the time, it just felt like Ryerson was in control of whatever Sam Houston was doing for the entirety of the set, and something's got to change if you want to make some sort of comeback here. It's definitely quite a bit uphill, but it's definitely not out of the possibility.
Right. They played a lot of reactive League of Legends. Now time for them to switch it on to some proactive League of Legends, make a few more moves around, maybe draft themselves some lanes that they know they can absolutely win out in, because by the time the laning phase was over, things were pretty grim for Sam Houston as things already stood. So going to have to be very thoughtful how they approach this pick and ban phase coming through. Ryerson, on the other hand, might be approaching it. Ain't broke, don't fix it. Had a really strong game 1. With a composition that, in theory, took a little bit longer to get going with the Maokai, with the Corki, pretty much just had the Draven there at their back.
Then you look at the Draven, you look at the Camille, and you look at the Sona. They can get going from, the start of the game, so...
It's how they got going with Camille, yeah.
They also just relied on their stronger laners just to win matchups they weren't even supposed to win. Top lane, you could argue back and forth. The Maokai has a fairly decent matchup into the Shen. It gets hurt a little bit towards the mid-game. One Shen does start picking up an item, 2 item. But until then, you're still doing pretty competitively. And mid lane, there's really no reason why Orianna shouldn't win that lane in the early phases. It was just nobody wanted to play aggressive against that Ryerson squad because they're just scared.
Orianna, I believe, was the first blood, too. Did get pretty well ganked successively when Camille did come in. Used the ultimate. There was no flash from the previous engage. So, it was possibly the wrong set of circumstances. But in general, that's nothing you can't bounce back from. What's a little bit harder for the members of Sam Houston this time around. So I have to be careful just timing that one out.
Exactly. And it was the response that Sam Houston actually had to that early invade. So it was Jepton going into the jungle of young Bucket God. And there was just so much of a response. You had the Shen ulti, you had the Shockwave, all of it being blown for nothing, plus 2 flashes. And once those went on over, Ryerson, they smelled blood in the water and they just capitalized on it immediately. And that's a mark of one of these higher up teams. So you really need to not only limit where you're giving pressure, but limit those cases too where you're just using something for nothing, because those are the small advantages that some teams can just take and just turn into the game.
Yeah, they do certainly all compound. Every decision you make in League of Legends does stack, right? They are compound decisions, so you cannot make any of them lightly. The good news on the other end of that is that your good decisions stack up as well, so it's just a matter of making more good decisions than bad decisions. Almost always. Easy, right?
Close enough, I guess. I'd say that the quote that really captures the most is League of Legends is a game where the team that makes the least amount of mistakes will normally win, and that was certainly true for this game, and you can't not hit Ryerson. Sure, there were a few mechanical misplays, there were a few macro misplays, but they were the exception rather than the rule. And Sam Houston never felt like they made a proactive decision in their favor, made mistake after mistake, especially on the first play like we were talking about before, blew the flash, blew double ultimates, actually blew 2 flashes, and it was just Ryerson. They made the least amount of mistakes, they won the game.
Yeah, definitely was a rough one. A lot of impressive macro from Ryerson. Definitely kept Sam Houston on the back foot, just turret after turret after turret. I mean, it was getting tough to keep up with just some of the stuff that they were doing when they had that top lane, bot lane, double push going on and just tower after tower falling. Okay, now we summon the Rift Herald in the top lane. Now we're on your bot lane inhibitor. Now we're on Nexus turrets. What are you going to do? And Sam Houston could not find an answer. We'll see what they come up with now as we do go into picks and bans. Definitely taking the Draven away. Don't want to see that one come out again. We'll see what else they change here.
Yeah, so the Draven ban is just purely to get that out of the way. I'm also a little bit disappointed that there was such an early rotation of the Xayah plus Rakan, and that is a lane that is known for finding advantages in the early game. And sure, they were on a knife's edge with trying to engage on a Draven Sona. It's a very high risk, high reward sentiment there, but They just didn't try. And that's the biggest thing with me. A lot of these teams sometimes just need to put themselves out there, experience that loss, and have it be by their own hand, because that's how you improve as a team. And in these upcoming seasons, in this upcoming year, where a lot more of these colleges are entering into that collegiate league legend scene, now is the time to really get that developmental, because that will pay off down the line. But as we've been speaking, more bands going over in the Alawi definitely sticks out in my mind, but curious to see what that was actually against.
Yeah, they don't want to see that one come through, so, likely they're trying to take away from Fizz on that Ash, but Camille will be, taken away. Jebton going to pick that one up, and banning up Fizz on that Ash seems a little bit counterproductive to me, because he had such an impactful game just as Maokai last time around, and, Maokai's one of those champions. I think I would consider it very impactful. So did go down early, was his team's only death, sure, but once it came around to the point of being the split push threat, just being able to maintain in a lane against the Shen, to kind of free up the map for Tavarese and Funner to run around, put out the pressure, and as well to come in with some serious flanks that won them 2 separate team fights, one of them ultimately the one that took the game away. Now you could definitely argue that the game was over by that point. Anyway, I'm just saying, if he can perform and put up on the Maokai, you don't really want to...
You could replace the top laner with a rock, and that game still would have gone the same way. Not putting him down that hard, but I wouldn't call it a standout performance. He did his job. That was exactly what went down. And in the end, that's really all you can ask from any of your players. So certainly did his job. I think it's still valid to ban him out just a little bit, especially if you're scared of the Alawi counter. But even going on through, they're going to go with the Twitch. Definitely a very different lane than the Draven.
Yeah, different lanes all around, actually, as it is going to be going up against a Tristana Bard from Shiny Sableye and Slaga Slasha there. So a bit of a tongue twister. Twitch, I like to see it come in with the Draven banned out. We knew he'd have to be obviously on something new. The Gnar is well taken away. Definitely a little bit more proactive for Fizz on that Ashe in the top lane. Definitely assuming then that Jebton will be playing Camille again. That is not a top lane Camille with the Gnar being locked in.
Yeah, and the big thing with the Twitch is you've gone from the most aggressive ADC in the early game to the least aggressive early ADC in the early game. Twitch is very well known for being one of the lowest damage, very start laning phase ADCs in the game. So curious to see how this adaptation does go on across. They are still waiting for support. They could whip out something pretty crazy, but already the Tristana plus the Bard is a much more aggressive bottom lane than even the Zion Rakan. And if these guys aren't able to do something against a Twitch, there's just not much faith left in me.
No, yeah, they're definitely going to need to take that one on full force. And so a lot of onus going to be put now onto Funner's head, the support for the side of Ryerson. He's going to have to be careful how he chooses his champion, because with the Sona band away, he will be on something new as well. Karma, the last band coming out from Sam Houston. They do not want to see it. So it is going to be interesting now to see what the side of Ryerson is going to pick up here in response. Do they opt for that support pick? I think it's the right one to go for here, saving the mid for the last pick. And we'll see kind of what they're up against. Twitch. And, oh, no, they possibly want. So now I'm confused. I made a guarantee that this Gnar was going top lane, and here with Jax, Camille, and Gnar on the same team.
Camille support?
Question mark, question mark, question mark?
I wouldn't be super sold on this one. The last time I saw Camille support was like the first time it was played by Gate over on Echo Fox, like right when it came out. I don't think that's the ADC you want. I don't think it's the support you want. If that's going at ball lane too, Camille plus Twitch feels like such a defensive, I mean not even defensive, just a underpowered bot lane. Because, like, as Camille, you want to engage, but Twitch doesn't want to engage. He wants to farm on out. Maybe they're going to pull out some crazy strats. Maybe it is Jebton still getting the Camille pick as well. Or maybe there's a mid lane Camille, or mid lane Jax, or mid lane Gnar. So, options still...
Mid lane Anivia.
Support Anivia, maybe.
That was,
yeah, no, it's not.
Maybe.
Is that going to be the... That's going to be Camille. Wait. Come on? Hello?
Yeah,
that's Camille support. It's going to be Camille support.
Okay, yeah. So...
Oh, God.
In the support role, Jax in the jungle. So Jebton pulling out some fun stuff tonight. Going to be excited to see that one. This is his response to the Jarvan IV from Young Bucket God. We'll see if this is Ryerson, having some secret pocket picks, or probably just having a little bit more fun with this game, knowing that they have the strong advantage so far in this series and have a game at their disposal that they can, in theory, lose. But it's a different draft top to bottom coming out of the side of Sam Houston. We'll see whether or not they can take this and turn it into something, a little bit better, more proactive. They definitely have more proactive champions at their disposal. The Jarvan, the Yasuo, the bot lane combo, and then with Malphite in the top lane into the Gnar. Going to be curious to see how that one plays out. But all in all, I think Sam Houston have better tools at their disposal this time.
The top lane in particular is going to be fairly back and forth, Gnar versus Malphite, until that first setting point. Once Gnar gets the Black Cleaver, it's nearly impossible to win a lane against him as a tank. So, going to be up to Young Bucket God to get something happening in that lane before that point, if they even want the top lane to keep going. Otherwise, put Rock with, Samurai Dude, hit people, knock up. It's not that hard of a combo to process. Out on top of that, the Bard, which can set up those kind of combos as well. And Sam Houston, they did exactly what I asked them to. They found some proactive form of shot calling. They found some proactive form of playmaking. Now, though, can they actually take that and convert that into the early game priority? That is still what's left to be seen, because you need to be a little bit fearless going out with these plays. And if they play like they did last game, they're not even going to have a chance to hit a single one of these ultimates.
Ouch.
Hopefully we're going to see something different. Yeah.
It only hurts because it's true.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they prioritize that play. I think the laners, especially the solo laners, are going to be something I'm going to keep a much bigger eye on. It was the junglers last time around. This time, not so much the same story. I want to see the Malphite make the action happen. I want to see a good Yasuo game. I know that's oxymoronic, and there's technically no such thing. But either way, I'd like to see maybe Sam Houston be the first ones to ever invent such a thing as the good Yasuo game.
It's always... Oh, God. Please, no. I have not seen Yasuo in so long in solo queue. I've been hovering around the D4, D3 area for a while now, especially before the season reset, and I don't think I've seen a Yasuo in a better part of a year, to be honest. I got to that happy spot where I could kind of forget he was a champion, but I'll have to see. Maybe Sam Houston trying to whip that out, maybe trying to show Ryerson that, yes, there are decent Yasuo players on this green earth, but we'll have to check that one out here in just a few minutes. But there's just so much on the side of Ryerson, and this is definitely very much scaling composition. They want to get to late game with the Nivea. They want to get to late game with the Twitch, and even with the Jax and Gnar, sure, they get going at about that 2-item spike, but they still keep on scaling. And if Sam Houston can't pull something off early, sure, Yasuo and Tristana do scale up. You always have the ability to win the game when you have the kind of combination like that. It just doesn't get any easier, though.
No, certainly not. And so it's all an uphill battle from here out, and comes down to just the execution they're in and the advantages small that they can then start to compound and turn into tangible points on the map that are then turning into the gold they need for said items, back into towers and so forth. Classic League of Legends. In the meantime, I want to give a couple shout-outs, a little bit of tidbits of information if you're just joining us. My name is Kyle Corvus-Crow. This is Stephen Return Johnson. You can find us on Discord, !Discord. Great way to get involved with CSL, get your school in on esports. Many more than just League of Legends, so check that one out. You can find us on Twitter, twitter.com/CStarLeague or CSLLOL. Facebook.com/CStarLeague. All of our VODs are uploaded to YouTube, youtube.com/user/CStarLeague. You can check out anything that you might have missed there. Just stay up to date on all the action. Want to give a huge shout out to Twitch. Thank them for their continued sponsorship and support. None of the events that we put on here at CSL would be the same without them. And that's going to be it. Want to just touch those information, get you guys all plugged in before we do get into this game. Game number 2, Sam Houston trying to storm back. Ryerson, one game away from finishing a perfect group.
Yeah, they've got it all in their hands. It's definitely going to be up to them, and only can really blame themselves if they do not make the one through, because last game, they had complete control, and if they pull off something like that once again, they will be walking out of here with that perfect season, but potentially this time a little bit more aggressive on the invade. They've got some options, though.
Certainly so. I think they know they can at this point. It's just the insurance bet, right? They know that at least they have a game at their back, so why not play a little bit more aggressively?
No one's here.
Mindset. Yeah, not going to find anybody. We'll see if they keep on moving through. Funner looks to be the lead scout for this one. See if they just wait in hiding at this brush, because they know at some point, eventually, they'll see a bot laner walk on It might be with minions, but if you can guarantee you get that kill.
No, they're waiting for the cooldown from Funner to come back up because he is their main source of engage, and this is exactly what Echo Fox did when they threw Gate onto the support. It is such an aggressive, really big.
He's not paying attention.
Is he on? Me? Hello?
Not good at all. Stun up, goodbye. First blood. You have to watch. You have to be waiting for that. What's the point of waiting in the bush? Oh no, that's bad.
Yeah, usually you want to keep your League of Legends screen up and open. When you are playing collegiate match, that will help you avoid invades such as that one, but a little bit of a lack of coverage coming out from that invade. And that's when I called out. That's why I called out the oh shoot, there's no one there, because that's the perfect opportunity now for the side of Ryerson to make their way into that jungle to find that early kill. And also on top of that, there are now 2 Doran's rings for Pal in this early game. Help him even more out in this early laning phase.
Well, you talked about the Anivia wanting to scale. What better way to start it off than a pre-CS first blood? Always love it. So level 1 gets the gold back in pocket, the double Dorans to start. It's just going to mean a field day for this mid laner of Ryerson University. We're going to see what he can turn it into, however. Likely won't be getting all the attention in the world unless Jebton really just wants to try to smash down this lane, but I would expect him to be a little bit more focused on the 2 side lanes, potentially finding out the kills there. Those Yasuo can be a little bit trickier sometimes.
Yeah, most certainly. And I mean, even bot lane, a little bit more aggressive than I expected coming out of Funner and coming out of Travis. They're putting out some good damage.
Yeah, definitely so. Keeping up just a heavy amount. Now, we talked about this potentially. Ooh, bad news. Yeah, this is going to be rough. So that is going to be the flash in. Ooh. And Sableye didn't really stand a chance there. Slasha as well in a lot of trouble. Funner just trying to cut off. Going to stay right out of tower range. The flash should keep him okay. But look at that. That's a kill again. The 2 carries now from the side of Ryerson. Each have a kill to their name before even the 3-minute mark here. Cost him a flash from the AD and both summoners out of the support. But I think they're going to consider that well worth.
Oh yeah, and that is not what you want to have happen in that lane. You want to keep Twitch down for as long as physically possible, not give him the early kill. And the main idea with, especially the Tristana in the laning phase, is try to hit that level 2 first. Have the additional engage with having the rocket jump plus the bomb available. Hit that level 2, go for the fight right there, and just force the other guy out. But they're unable to hit that point. They're not playing aggressively enough to actually prioritize or just get anything off of that spike. And going down this early has got to hurt, because that is now a pickaxe pickup versus the pod. And oh, here's Jebton.
Yeah, Jaeger's in some trouble here too. Jebton wants to come in, is going to find it, won't juggle the aggro just right, and does burn the flash for naught. So will give a kill back. On a technicality, it was an aggressive play that cost him his own life, but he gave the kill away to Fizz on that action. Now, every laner from the side of Ryerson, if you don't count the support, does have a kill to their name. And that's a golden start. That's absolutely what you want. Even if it does give over a kill to Jaeger, that's not going to be the biggest deal in the world. The Malphite, not going to be something you're super worried about just destroying you on early. And look at Slaga. Slaga just goes down. Are you kidding me? Towers is just killing this one.
This is a late game pick. It doesn't do well in the laning phase, but it's got 2 kills already. Absolute disrespect coming out from the Sam Houston squatter. Just the inability to actually respond. And also, I'm noticing now that Slaga went for a coin also on top of the, instead of something like the quote-unquote butter knife, instead of something like the Spell Thieves. And Funner gonna go a bit aggressive there.
Yeah, I think he's going to think better of it the second that bomb and tower shot land right on his head. Down to almost half health before all is said and done and the healing does start. So, you know, it's a strong lane. You're in a strong position, but you can't just play disrespectfully now, especially with Young Buck God here on the side. Demon coming down as well. That's just a free kill taken out and away by the side of Sam Houston State. Bucket God picks himself up. That one can be very pleased with it, with assists all around. And that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure from Sableye and Slasha.
Yeah, good adaptation, and it's gonna keep the Ryerson squad honest here in their attempt to make these plays on the bottom side of the map. That's something we didn't see coming out of Sam Houston in that last game. Once when the lanes got rolling, they never tried to gank, they never tried to counter gank, and this sort of adaptation is going to keep them in the game for a little bit longer. That being said, the Twitch in the game is currently 2-0-1 by this before the 6-minute mark. Things aren't looking good.
No, yeah, certainly. We're going to be looking at everything through a optimistic lens for the side of Ryerson. The game looks to be very much going the way that they want it to. Even with the two quite sloppy deaths, it really seems to me that these deaths were given away because they're kind of loosening their grip on the reins here. Not because that they did anything fundamentally wrong that was... they did obviously do things fundamentally wrong, but it didn't seem to be the great capitalization of Sam Houston. Sure, that bot lane kill was opportunistic, good for him, but the other kill they have, the only kill on Jaeger here, was taken away just because they dove a little too hard under tower. And so...
It's what I like to call game 2 syndrome. When you win such an aggressive game number 1, you kind of almost regress back to solo queue, and if you're good enough, yeah, it's just going to work for you because any 5 players who just are so much better than the other 5 players will usually just win the League of Legends match because XD they can. But there's that small percentage where if they start to throw away the victory, they lose that kind of swagger. They lose that early game advantage that they're so used to getting. And some of these teams aren't used to playing from behind. Like, that's another one of these things with these teams who are currently 6-0 in this league. They don't get the advantage. They don't get the practice of actually being behind. And sure, that's going to help them out in these early few stages of the playoffs. But going on into later, they've got to show us that they are comfortable playing both styles, because there are a lot of these teams who will take you to that 3-game set.
You know, very much so. So Sam Houston just trying to prove to themselves and the rest of the viewers here at home that they can be one of those teams to make that happen. They are playing very much on the back foot with a lot to prove here, so we'll see what they can turn this one into. And I want to put a little bit more focus on Young Buck God here. He got a pretty good kill in this bot lane. Hang on, we'll get to that in a second. Slasha going to be in some real trouble. The Summoner heal going to come out. The Ignite ticking through it, and the Poison might just get him. Funner finds the credit for that. Demon's on the way out now as well. So Young Bucket God here on the top lane finds that Ashe, but it's going to be a little bit of an unfortunate trade coming around. They wanted to take that kill out of the way for free in the top lane, and instead, just due to some, I would say, disrespect, aggression, Slasha loses his life, and Funner and Tavarese pick up yet another one there, this time going over to the credit of the support.
Yeah, and much better. I want to praise Sam Houston so much. They do finally turn around. They make the play for play-in. Given that they are looking at a little bit of scaling themselves, they can't afford that. They want to hit the 6 points. They want to find those big combination plays across the map, but and when you're looking for the bit of scaling, it's important to trade 1-for-1 on kills. And good escape there in mid lane from Demon Wolfie, and good movement from Young Bucket God. He's made quite a bit of improvements from the last game already, punishing that top lane when there was already so much pressure on the mid, on the bottom lane. But just the one thing that kind of trumps all at this point, Twitch is still scaling.
Yeah.
Tav is going to be an absolute monster going into this late game, and we're not even at the 10-minute point yet.
No, absolutely. He's definitely coming in very strong. Now, bad positioning potentially for Demon. He is stunned up there, half health going down. Slosh is trying to get him out of that one, but the good Inibi wall keeps things moving the right direction for him. That is going to be the ultimate coming down, but Jepton finds the kill. Teleport being channeled. Young Bucket God finds his third of the game and keeping things moving in that direction for Sam Houston. So they're staying toe-to-toe, very close behind in these kills. It's only the first 2 that they gave up that have thus gone unanswered. So all in all, I like it. We're talking about it. They need to play a bit more of a proactive game. They've been doing so, but the reactions are coming down from Ryerson, and that's a kill picked up coming out for Pal there. Takes that one out in the way with the help of Tavarese there. So will be pretty high participation. 5 out of the 7 kills thus far. 75 CS at 9 minutes is probably not where you want to see it, but given that he's been roaming around, going back to base to get all those young sexy items that he's got going on for him, he's going to be feeling really good about his position as likely the strongest champion in this game right this moment.
Yeah, most certainly. He's going to continue to scale up, and that's something where we will have to keep our eye on. The big thing is he's not the strongest champion in the game right now. He needs that second. He needs that, well, not even second. He needs a 3-item. Wants it a full crit build on this, I believe. Tab, though, he's getting engaged on 2v1.
Yeah, they're going to try to find him out. This one, Shiny is here. The flash comes out, the teleport as well. So now Slaga and Shiny are in some trouble. Slaga's health bar very low already. Will be the sacrificial lamb to try to get his carry out of that one. That's his 3rd death of this game, with only 8 deaths total on his team. So that's definitely more than can be considered acceptable right this very moment. And that death given up for so little is going to mean a pretty easy dragon takeaway. Only a cloud, though. but still a dragon nonetheless coming over for the side of Ryerson.
Yeah, you are getting a bit of a movement down here from Demon Wolf. But yeah, with that last play, it looked good for the side of Sam Houston. They wanted to finally kill the Twitch, get some gold back in their pockets, but Shiny just doesn't have damage right now. Slago, once again, went with Coin. He doesn't have damage either. And they're just unable to follow through with anything. Good movement there from Ryerson. They solidify the dragon. And Jaeger, he's missing some autos here.
Very aggressive. Fizz on that Ash. So close to Mega. Does burn the flash to come down, and Jaeger with his flash as well will come out of it in one piece, but that was really just a classic overstay. I think Jaeger vastly overestimated the ability to which he could play this one out. No bait coming through either because Young Bucket God not on that side of the map, so is just going to mean that Fizz on that Ash can back very safely, feel pretty good about how that one happened. Use the teleport to get back in. With Dragon off the map, you don't have to worry about that teleport advantage for some time, as the Rift Herald will be the next one to play in. But knowing that Jaeger doesn't have teleport either, might be very content to just walk this one back.
Look at how much control is on this bottom side for Ryerson, and that is what early aggression, that is your reward, basically, for that early aggro play. You just get to control complete sides of the vision, and yeah, Young Buck has been able to make plays on mid, he's been able to make plays on top. He has not been successfully able to make a play on this bottom portion of the map, and that is probably the most important part at this point, so definitely not looking too great for them at the current moment. But even so, they are finding those advantages, so there's still hope. But that's got to be dwindling every single kill that Tavrapal is picking up here.
He did, Young Bucket God, have a good kill just onto Funner, but it can definitely be argued that that was just Funner very much being out of position. Young Bucket God being in the right place at the right time to capitalize. And, you know, yeah, did get that pressure in the bottom lane, but didn't actually help turn it into much after that. Very surprising. We talked about pressure so much in this game. It's been building in lanes, it's been moving back and forth, but not a single tower has yet to go down as a result of said pressure. So it's a 3k gold lead, basically just off the back of this CS and kill differential that we see slightly favoring Ryerson for the time being. And they need to start finding these towers. They're content to just keep killing Slogger. He's going to keep dying every time they show up to him. But they need to turn it into a little bit more. It could be Young Bucket God being more, but flashing out will keep him relatively safe. The boomerang does not connect. So Young Bucket God out of that one in one piece. It's only Slasha who has become a casualty just this moment. We'll see if they can turn it into more. I think they want to start knocking on the door of this tower, and I question Shiny's ability to defend.
Yeah, they need Young Bucket God, or they need Jaeger to actually move on down, but they are currently preoccupied either in the base or fighting with the Nars. Fizz on Ash does have the Black Cleaver completed.
Oh boy, yeah, Jaeger going to be in some potential trouble as that Mega Gnar bar is just getting closer and closer and closer. Might not even need it, but we'll find it anyway. There is that stopwatch being busted down. Not going to matter too much as he's almost certainly dead without the flash, right? No, Rock doesn't connect. So a little bit of a misplay. Fizz on that Ash likely had him dead to rights, but does not find the kill that he potentially worked so hard to earn. Now Slasha in trouble again, but what else is new? Funner this time, potentially in a pretty bad spot as that teleport does come down. Jaeger still only about half health. Going to be have to careful how he plays this one out, as there also is no unstoppable force to boot. So they want to keep pushing this one. We'll see. I think it's been the best interest of Sam Houston just to back off here.
For now, they will be moving right on out, but God, that felt bad on the top side. I thought there was absolutely no way Jaeger gets out of that alive, but a little bit misplay. Not quite throwing down the ward where he needs to for Fizz. Is going to forfeit that kill over. Thankfully, the 5.3k gold lead currently going for the squad. Might have something to say about it. They might just be fine. But even with that, they are showing signs of weakness that weren't really present game number one. I mean, there was 11-1 kill game going on into the base in that last point. And sure, the bot lane for Sam Houston does leave a little something to be desired at the moment, but there's still all these points of pressure you can play around, and at the backbone, you still have a Malphite, you still have a Yasuo, anything is possible.
I think so. I think this is a better example of good reactive play from Sam Houston than it is an example of falling off from the side of Ryerson. I want to credit Sam Houston for really making necessary plays to adapt their composition and come back into this series a little bit. Obviously still very much on the back foot, obviously still very much favoring Ryerson, but I don't think Ryerson has just slacked too much. We saw a little bit in the early game, but it seems like they've been trying to tighten up since then and, you know, make some of the series plays that they need to. And so just the ability to stay in this game, I do want to give to Sam Houston as a credit to their ability to adapt. Now that said, it's only getting harder from here on out. We talked about this, a scaling composition from the side of Ryerson, and they're doing nothing but thus far. So pretty rough time to be a member of Sam Houston. Fun are going to get caught up in that Bard ultimate, stunned up.
Tav
They should
isn't
be out
here.
in one piece. Oh, that's going to be an unstoppable force coming down. Finds a bunch. There's the Wombo combo. Are you kidding me? Jebton, exhausted, likely not making it out of this one alive, but the Flash going to make a good case for him. Pal, on the other hand, with that stopwatch, is going to be in some trouble himself. The Slay on the back from Shiny, and they're turning this one around. Are you kidding me? Fizz is fighting this one. This was such a good engage from Sam Houston, but they didn't find a single kill, and only Slade is alive. Are you kidding me right now, Return?
There's just nothing to follow it up with, and that was so questionable play coming out from Shiny there. Tries to follow up. Pal might be dead too. Oh, never mind. Does have the heal. I believe he also has the passive, so if he got egg, probably wasn't the end of the world just yet, but yeah, that was absolutely heartbreaking for Sam Houston. They land the 3-man ultimate. Tav isn't even in the fight, but they're unable to follow through with anything. Good defensive play coming out there from Jebton at the very end to just save himself, but it might already be showing that they're too far behind to get anything done. They hit the perfect play. Where do you really go from that? 9k advantage currently still in the pockets for the rest of Ryerson. Mid tower down, bot lane tower down. Herald's on the board and Dragon's available too. Something's got to change quick here.
Yeah, everything looked to be going so right for Sam Houston, and then all at once just started to go oh so terribly wrong. Me IRL. Not the best turn of events for them, so that's going to be very disheartening. We'll see if they can bounce back from that, because how do you lose a fight like that and saddle right back up on that horse and try it again? Because that's still the best idea for Sam Houston, right? That plan hasn't changed. They still want to try to recreate that and then just hope it goes better this time with fewer stopwatches.
Yeah. That wasn't even stopwatches. There are no stopwatches on that enemy team.
Anivia and
Pal had stopwatch, my bad.
Yeah, I want to say that
No one else had stopwatch.
Okay, so it was just Pal then. Yeah.
That was Shiny having 4.8k gold compared to Tav, who has 8.2k. That is such an underfed ADC. That is such an underfed Yasuo. That, like, once they got that pressure out, once they hit those ultimates, there was literally nothing left they could do.
Certainly the case, and now it looks just to be back to business as usual for Ryerson. This is a place we've seen Tavarys and Funner quite so, just a good bit this series, is playing aggressively under the enemy towers, trying to keep pressure up, and causing a headache for the solo laners. Now look at this, Pal rampaging through, finds Slauga yet again, full tilt coming through. 5 deaths to this one, and the deaths might continue to roll on as Jaeger is trying to get out of this one, but Jebton and Fizz on that Ashe right in his face. That will mean another kill coming out for Jebton, and the heat is cranking up from the side of Ryerson. They find another kill stretching the lead, 15-4. Another tower to boot, and they're setting up pressure here in the bot lane to knock on the door of an inner.
Yeah, Pal, he's gonna just get a free kill here. That is...
Oh yeah, goodbye.
That is one of the most casual kills while also taking blue buffs I have seen in my life. And 5-0-5 on the Anivia, 4-0-6 on the Twitch. And I mean, it might have been a bit of a rockier road. It might have been a bit of a different way to approach it. But Ryerson, they're once again just completely in that driver's seat. 12.3k gold lead. They are owning this game.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. Not what you wanted if you are Sam Houston. And it all just came off the back. It all came off the rails at that singular team fight that they tried with. So definitely looks like the spirit may be broken. Shiny having a rocket jump out of that one. Tavarys wants to just come on in, but may have gotten himself in a bit of a bad position. Funner and Pal going to try to bail him out of this one. They're going to find Young Buck God for sure. And Jaeger just trying to hold things together. Does not need to keep moving forward. Back to his base, the preferable alternative, but it is all too late as the double kill comes down 7-0-5 as Pal is having an explosive game.
Nothing matters anymore. They've got the extra gold. They've got the extra kills. They have the backup. Tav can even play basically in the enemy base. Nothing matters anymore because of this gold lead. And I'm almost ready to call time of death on this one, surely. Still a little bit more room to play around if you catch Tav in the perfect fight. If you get to that second, if you get to that third item on Shiny, onto Demon Wolf, it's possible. But now you're also entering this very scary area where there are too many damn options. There are too many damn threats on the side of Ryerson. Sure, if you kill Tav, Pal is still on a rampage, 7-0-5. Jebton isn't doing too bad for himself either, and Fizz on that Ashe finally has 2 items, is ready to just rip apart this split push game with his bare paws, I guess. I don't think his hands per se, but either way, there are just too many threats right now on Ryerson, and there needs to be a physically perfect fight. Like, it must be on the front page of Reddit for Sam Houston to win this game at this point.
Yeah, very much so, and unfortunately, that is what they have to focus on doing, because there is no game number 3 if they do lose here. That is the end of the season for Sam Houston, and that does put Ryerson off onto an absolutely undefeated division, and it looks to be what they're trying to claim. Unstoppable force used defensively doesn't matter. Legendary coming out for Palace. He crests 8-0-5, 13 of his team's 20 kills he has had something to do with, and now Demon Wolfie with the flash wind wall will get out okay, but you can't say the same for the rest of his base, as they are just setting up on the side of Ryerson to continue taking towers, to continue pouring in minions down these lanes and causing headaches all over. Sam Houston does not seem to have a response, and so all in all, looking very, very grim. How do you turtle this one out? You can't just let it all go by the wayside. They have to try something last ditch.
Prayer, mostly, I guess. That's gotta be my best recommendation at this point. Because the issue is, the Ryerson's composition does so well at just breaking up this wombo combo composition, because you need to send somebody to go fight with Fizz, and once you've done that, you take away your perfect wombo combo potential. You can't combo with 5 people if only 3 of them are right there.
Slasha. Oh, actually, very nice ultimate to keep himself alive there, but still, shouldn't have had to use it with the flash just in the position that he was in. Playing too far forward, and that's been a huge criticism of ours all game. Slasha has 6 of his team's 20 deaths, and that is just far too many.
He started the game with Coin in a lane he should have gone aggressive in, and then just couldn't find the playstyle.
It's on under the tower, actually. Funner wants to find this one. Shiny didn't stand a chance as Tavarese from the back line makes it happen, and Pal goes legendary. We'll take that one out. So 9-0-5, 6-0-9. These 2 carries are competing for center of the universe right now on the side of Ryerson, and it is all going wrong for Sam Houston. The mid tower, possibly the next setup for sure, gone down. Inhibitor going to fall as an afterthought. And look at the minions in the bot lane. They're just pouring in there. They've already got it set up. So the rotation from Ryerson is so clean here as they find the kills, they find the objectives, and they are absolutely putting every last nail in the coffin for Sam Houston.
I mean, every member is up and available for the side of Sam Houston. All ultimates except for Slaga are on. Now's the time to make a play.
Oh boy, they want to try to find it. There is the Jarvan the 4th coming in. The flag and drag finds it. Jebton goes down. They want to turn this one around. Demon Wolfie is in there. He's going to go down. Funner finds the kill, and Young Bucket got on the run out. Pal continuing his legendary streak. And look at that Fizz on that Ashe finds another one. Jaeger on the run for his life. Tavarese wants it, but it is stolen out from under his nose as Pal claims the double. 11-0-6, definitely pulling ahead as the more prominent carry this game. And that is going to do it almost certainly for Sam Houston. Slasha, the sacrifice, he's not going to be able to hold anything. Just wanted one more death on his tally by the end of that all. The ace does come down, and in 24 short minutes, Ryerson make absolutely short work of Sam Houston and take the series 2-0, an undefeated start to the season as they do make it out of groups in style.
Looking at KDA just a little bit more, but yeah, that is one way to put away the match. A 20+ K gold lead at 24 minutes is certainly making a statement, and any team that gets matched up against Ryerson in those first round of playoffs, you have got to prepare, because these guys are on an absolute tear.
Yeah, this is the warpath. They are coming down with a certain type of fire that you do not want to be the team up against them. Now, granted, every team making it out of their groups has to do so for a reason, right? So we'll see what they may be up against with the stiffest of the stiff competition coming out for these JV final contentions that everyone is now looking to be in the running for. We do have the makeup week coming up, so not everyone's going to be there through just yet. But if you are there now, if you know your team is getting through and you just watch this game to get a little bit of info on a potential opponent, you got your work cut out for you.
Oh yeah, they looked like such a dominant early game composition, but like we said before during the cast, we need to see what happens when they also fall behind, because it's not just the solo queue mindset. When we get to these finals, especially when we get towards where we're going with those final 4, Like, we've seen Columbia College's B team. They look as not quite as good, but they look nearly as good as any single varsity team out there. And you have to have so much depth of roster. You have to have so much ability to play through some of these strategies. And especially with Ryerson going with so many of these off-meta picks, it doesn't quite put that down as a definitive yet for me. Now, definitely to their benefit, they basically already clinched the win coming into this week. They've already clinched the playoff spot, actually. So maybe they're just going a little bit outside, showing that, hey, we can play some stuff, and maybe just hiding some of their picks going on forward. So maybe they're playing the sleeper game. Maybe they're super OP going to smash Drake Porter's Evil Empire as we go. But definitely a big question mark, but definitely a lot of upside as well for these guys. And really curious to see how they play on through these playoffs.
Absolutely so. So I'm sure this will not be the last we see of Ryerson in our JV1 coverage. Unfortunately, it is the last we will see of Sam Houston this season, so we want to extend the warmest GGWPs to these guys for playing their hearts out on stream for us all this evening. Thank them for their season and good, potential turnaround. They had a much better game 2 against Ryerson. We can say that much.
The makings were there. The execution needed just a little bit more, but it was really heartening to actually see the definitive improvement between game 1 and game 2. They came out with a different game plan and they executed just that little bit better, but in the end, that hump was just a little bit too much to go over, and especially that bottom lane just were not able to get that job done.
Happens to the best of us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wind down the stream for us, and as we don't have anything coming up afterwards tonight for you to watch, want to say thank you all for joining us. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow. That's at Corvus Kovacs on Twitter. You can see it in my little box right there. I've been joined tonight by the wonderful brain of Steven Returned Johnson. That is at LOL Returned on Twitter if you want to give him a follow. We are casters for the C Star League. That is twitter.com/C Star League or CSL LOL if you want more league-specific content. Facebook.com/C Star League as well. Huge shout out to Twitch. Hit ! Discord in the chat to get involved that way. Great way to keep up with us. We will have more League of Legends action, both junior varsity and varsity, going on all season, as well as a myriad of other esports. So stick around, have a little bit of fun with us, get involved with the CSL. It'll be the best decision of your collegiate life next to studying for that test that you have coming up. Don't slack out on that. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us. That is going to do it for us this evening. Take care.